In 1966, a CIA analyst looked at a spy photograph and panicked. He was looking at the Caspian Sea, a closed body of water deep inside the Soviet Union. But he wasn't looking at a boat. The object in the photo was over 300 feet long. It had the wingspan of a bomber, but it was sitting in the water. U.S. intelligence marked it with the letters KM. They didn't know what it was, so they gave it a name that sounded like a myth. They called it the Caspian Sea Monster. Was it a plane? Was it a ship? Or was it a new weapon that could invade America at 300 miles per hour, undetected by radar? Welcome to Shadow Works. Today, we investigate the Ekranoplan, a machine that told the laws of physics to sit down and shut up. It is half plane, half ship, and entirely insane. It was designed to hunt American aircraft carriers and destroy them with nuclear missiles. But today, this titan of the Cold War isn't fighting battles. It's rotting on a beach in Dagestan. To understand the monster, you have to understand the air. Pilots have known for years that when you land a plane, right before you touch the runway, the aircraft feels like it wants to float. It feels cushioned. This is called ground effect. As the wings get close to the ground, the air gets trapped underneath them. It creates a high-pressure pillow that lifts the plane up. Most pilots hate it. It makes landing hard. But Soviet engineer Rostislav Alexeyev loved it. He realized that if you could build a machine designed to ride that cushion of air permanently, you could achieve the impossible. You could carry the heavy payload of a ship, but move at the speed of an airplane. And because you were flying only 15 feet above the water ... you would be invisible. You are too low for radar and too fast for sonar. The Soviets built several prototypes, but the scariest one was the Lun-class. Just look at it. It looks like something a villain would build in a James Bond movie. It had 8 massive jet engines mounted on the nose, just to generate enough thrust to lift its massive belly out of the water. But the most terrifying feature is on its back. Those 6 tubes aren't exhaust pipes. They are missile launchers. Each tube held a P-270 Mosquet anti-ship missile. These weren't small rockets. Each one weighed 4 tons and could deliver a nuclear warhead at supersonic speeds. The plan was simple. A pack of these sea monsters would sprint across the ocean at 340 miles per hour, pop up out of nowhere, unleash a nuclear volley at a U.S. aircraft carrier group, and vanish before the Americans knew they were dead. It sounds like the perfect weapon. So why aren't we all speaking Russian? Because the Ekranoplan had a fatal flaw. It was a diva. Ground effect works perfectly on a calm lake. But the ocean isn't a lake. If the waves got higher than a few feet, the Ekranoplan couldn't fly. It would smash into the water. If the pilot turned too sharply, the wing would dip into the waves, and the aircraft would cartwheel and disintegrate. It was also a logistical nightmare. It required special docks, special fuel, and highly trained pilots who were half sailor, half astronaut. And then the ultimate enemy arrived. Not the Americans ... but the economy. In the late 80s, the Soviet Union was running out of money. The military had to choose. Do we build reliable submarines that we know work? Or do we keep dumping millions of rubles into a giant, fragile sea monster that can't fly in a storm? They chose the submarines. The Ekranoplan program was canceled. The few that were built were towed into dry docks and left to rust. Today, the only surviving Lun-class interceptor sits on a sandy beach in Derbent, Russia. It was towed there in 2020 to be part of a theme park that was never finished. Now, it's just a tourist attraction for Instagram. It sits there like a beached whale, its paint peeling, its nuclear tubes empty, staring out at the ocean it was meant to conquer. It is a monument to a specific time in history, a time when engineers had unlimited budgets and zero fear. The Caspian Sea Monster was a failure, but it was a magnificent failure. It proved that humanity can make anything fly if we put enough jet engines on it. But while the Soviets were trying to fly low to avoid detection, the Americans were trying to fly fast, impossibly fast. Join us next time as we open the file on Project Pluto, a U.S. missile powered by a nuclear reactor that was designed to fly at Mach 3, deafen anyone it flew over, and irradiate the land beneath it. They called it the Flying Crowbar. Click here to subscribe so you don't miss the weapon that was too evil to use.